Good morning, Miramar. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tamara G. Of course, you can check us out on all of our social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City of Miramar. And we have our very busy Vice Mayor, Alexandra P. Davis, with us today for Good Morning Miramar. You know what? Just because it's summer doesn't mean you stop working.
Yeah, there
Vice
you
Mayor
go.
Davis.
Yes, yes. So, it's great to be here on your show, Tamara, again, as we give very useful information to our viewers.
Yes.
So, we're talking today about Save a Life Day. So, Save a Life Day, this is the summer edition, and it's an event that we do with our City of Miramar Fire Department and other sponsors to bring awareness to some of the issues that arise during the summer, whether it's drownings, we want to prevent drownings, especially of our kids, whether it's learning how to do a hands-only CPR, which is very important, signs of a stroke, to include heat stroke. It's been quite hot lately.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, Vice Mayor, because people kind of feel like they maybe feel dizzy or they walk into a place and like, "Ooh, I just don't feel so hot out there." But I never even thought about heat stroke, so that's a good one. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, to make sure.
Yeah.
Stop the bleed. Of course, hurricane preparedness. We have to cross our fingers we don't get anything big this year. And there's this whole thing about leaving the child unattended in the car in the sweltering heat again, making sure that we're aware of what we should be doing when we have children in our cars, in car seats. So there's a wealth of information. We'll have demonstrations. We'll have other vendors there. We'll have presentations. So it's going to be a good event, which takes place on July 13th at the Commission Chambers, which is located at 2300 Civic Center Place.
Mm-hmm.
And for folks to register, so we have an idea of folks who are coming, we want them to go to Save a Life Day 2024.eventbrite.com. So Save a Life Day 2024.eventbrite.com. Of course, as always, we'll have light refreshments. We want to make sure that folks get a little something, something when they come to our event. So light refreshments will be served at that time.
Okay, so let's start with the first item that you talked about, and with the fire and the EMT department to help out with this is drowning. We all know,
Mhm.
I believe Florida is #1 in the country with
Mhm.
accidental drowning of kids. And although you may have a pool in your backyard, you may let the kids sometimes come over. Sometimes kids climb fences and they,
Mhm.
want to, explore. Like they get in somebody else's backyard. This isn't even their backyard. Or
Right.
people leave kids. The water is so enticing. So,
Yes.
and I know we've talked about this before. You learned how to swim when you were a child.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so many people in Florida don't know how to swim.
Yes. And it's very good that you mentioned that because here in the city we do have free swim lessons as well. So we'll talk about that. We'll give out vouchers for that. And that you're right. We are the #1 state in the country for kids drowning. And we in the city have embarked on autism awareness. And as for autistic children, that is the #1 method for them. And so it is enticing and alluring. So we'll certainly be talking about that, how to protect our children. We'll have smoke alarms handy on the ready for folks to pick up. We'll also make sure we'll have, um, because drug addiction is so rampant too,
Mm.
we'll have information on that and be giving out, I believe it's called the Narcan pens, to make sure that folks are okay in that regard. Um, we'll have the police department also chiming in on things such as bank jugging. Now, I didn't know about what that was until they tried to explain it to me.
Okay.
It's basically, I guess it's people following you home when you go to the bank and pull something at the ATM, something in that regard. But it's interesting
Wow.
stuff because we got to make sure we are safe when it comes to going to the bank and withdrawing funds and so on. But folks can learn more about bank jogging from them, as well as hear about mental health awareness, um, bike safety, and the kids are out of school. So we want to make sure they're
Everywhere,
safe.
everywhere. They're all in the street. Now, again, we're of a certain age, Vice Mayor, and we used to have to know the signals for when you made the left turn, the right turn, all of that. It just seems like in South Florida, people just get on a bike and they're just out in the middle of the street. They don't know anything about any bike safety at all. And helmets, which are very important.
Absolutely. And in fact, we're going to have a vendor who will be donating helmets. So that's a great thing,
Nice.
to our children to make sure that they're safe on their bikes. That's so important. But I like when you talked about the hand signals. That
Oh
they ring
yeah.
a bell.
Yes, it's been a while, but yes, we had to do the whole little bike safety class and everything. So I'm glad that you're going to have that, and also that vendor that's going to be giving away those helmets. If you're just tuning in, we are speaking this morning with Vice Mayor Alexandra P. Davis, who is sponsoring the summer edition of Save a Life. It's going to be July 13th at the City Hall chambers right behind her. The picture that is right behind her, that's City Hall, 2300 Civic Center Place. Starting at what time in the morning on that Saturday, Vice Mayor?
It's oh, so yes, this is 11 to 3, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And of course, there'll be light refreshments. We know it's during your lunchtime. So, and it's a family friendly event. We'll have things for the kids, bring them out so they can learn how to be safe. And, we expect to have a good enough crowd so they can learn and get the experience they need hands on, with our fire department.
Okay, so we've mentioned about bike safety, we've mentioned about swimming safety. Let's talk a little bit about the CPR
Mhm.
because sometimes people have to do the manual CPR until you can get 911 there.
Yes, and so they're going to show you how to do adult CPR on babies.
Mhm.
Of course, they're going to tell you, while you call 911, call for help, but also now do the compressions with your hands. There's no back in the day you had to do lip to lip resuscitation.
Yeah, none of that anymore. You're just gonna have to be push. I've actually done a CPR class and
Okay.
yeah, and it was, just the rudimentary one, the original one, but it was very informative. What I wish I had learned, and I'm gonna have to do that, is how to do the defibrillator if you need it
Okay.
work or somebody
Sure.
falls out, at church or whatever, because you can
Mhm.
have them on the wall, but if you don't know how to use them, they never
Exactly.
will.
Yes. They will
So,
be going through that as well, going
okay,
over that because there are certain steps and it actually walks you through it. They say it's quite simple. You just have to follow the directions once you open up that kit, the defibrillator kit. So they will be doing that also with our folks who attend. So
okay,
very, very important there.
okay. You mentioned as well smoke detectors and smoke alarms. Um, I think now it's a given that if you have a new apartment complex, you should, I think they come, you have to have a smoke alarm and
Yes.
a smoke detector in them. But, some older units don't, so of course you can put it up yourself. But another
Mhm.
thing is checking those batteries. You've got
Mhm.
to change those once a year because you just never know when they go out.
Right, exactly. And I think they have a newer one now that lasts longer than the old one. So you want to change those out if you have the older models and get these new ones. So we'll have some of those on hand. It's the Red Cross, that's part of that program. And so they'll be on hand as well. Um, there is also carbon um, detection as well.
Okay.
I guess carbon monoxide poison prevention.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. I remember.
they're going to be talking about that also, um, on this day. So, and stop the bleed. That's another one. When you have the turnkey and you can
Oh,
tighten, and it doesn't have to be. It could be various things that you use, but they do have the turnkeys you can get. The tourniquets you can get online, and it's
okay.
good to have those in case somebody is bleeding and where to place it and how to tighten it. And they go through that, and they have examples, and you can participate. So I think that's a good one as well.
Yeah. I, on a personal note here, I'll let people know I lost a cousin in December to
Mm.
carbon monoxide poisoning. And
What?
yeah, it's very sad how it happened. He had gotten into a fight with his girlfriend, and he lived in Nebraska. Got into a fight with his girlfriend, went out and sat in the garage, and it was cold that night. And
Right.
I, they did not rule it suicide or anything like that. He was just trying to stay warm.
Warm.
He turned the car on, and I guess just didn't realize that, being in an enclosed garage,
Hmm.
that's that's what happens, and he was overcome.
Wow.
He just went to sleep. He just went to sleep. And it is such a waste,
Mm.
because as you mentioned, it can happen to anybody. So that's why
True.
carbon monoxide detectors, maybe if he had
Yeah.
heard something beeping, it would have,
Beeping.
right. Or
Yeah.
they said if he had just let the garage up a half a foot to let the
Wow.
fumes out. But it wasn't like it was intentional. They said it wasn't. He just, because he was talking on the phone, he was talking to everybody, when he was in the garage.
He doesn't even realize. Some people don't know that,
Exactly. We don't think he
especially,
knew it. We don't think he
yeah.
knew. And
No.
yeah, it's just, 45, and it just was crazy.
Wow. So young.
Yeah, so young. So I love that you guys are doing the carbon monoxide, as well as the smoke detectors. This
Hmm.
is really going to be I don't know if people understand, and we love that we do this for Miramar residents. Of course, we invite everybody from the community
Everybody.
to come out. So if you're from one of our neighboring cities,
Mhm.
but to have all this information and to have all of these products that will be, given to you guys, this is
Mhm.
priceless, Vice Mayor.
Mhm. Absolutely. You just never know the life that you could save with any
Yeah.
of these items. And the knowledge is, like you said, knowledge is power because if you know what not to do and what to do. So this is important.
Right,
Mhm.
absolutely. Okay, so we're going to get people registered. Again, this is a family-friendly event, so you can bring everybody out. There's going to be light refreshments as well. There are going to be people that you can ask questions that are experts in this knowledge. And so therefore, because I don't know how to do a tourniquet. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
The things that because you just never know when you're going to need them in South Florida, right?
Right, right.
And so give us that Eventbrite one more time so people can register.
Yes.
And
So
they
it's
can show
Save a
up, but you
Life.
would love the numbers though, so that you'll know how many people.
Right, especially
Mm.
since we're providing like refreshments. So it's Save a Life Day 2024.eventbrite.com. Save a Life Day 2024.eventbrite.com.
Okay, and again, that is Saturday, July 13th, starting at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The
Mhm.
police department is actually going to come out as well and do some
Yeah,
seminars based on safety. I'm always looking when I go to the bank. You know what? Like there's things they say to do. You're supposed to go in the daytime. You're supposed to go
right.
while the bank is open. You if you're going to get money out of the ATM, make sure it's the one in the front of the bank and not the one on the side of the bank. So I try to do that kind of stuff. But you're right. Some people go to the bank at 2 o'clock in the morning. They don't. It's like they're not even thinking like that somebody's
True, true.
following you.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be talking about that. And of course, the Red Cross, as you mentioned, will be there. There's going to be swim safety information, also vouchers, if
Mhm.
you need to take free swim lessons. So it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff going on that day. Save a life, CPR. It's going to be amazing. Now you have that going on July 13th, but even sooner than that, coming up this coming Saturday on June 29th is an event at the Multi-Service Complex.
Yes, and that one we spoke about before, but yes, it's coming up this Saturday. It's in conjunction with Memorial Hospital Healthcare System, and they have a series called One City at a Time. And this is their kickoff because they're going to be deploying their mobile buses around the city, which will provide healthcare to folks even without healthcare insurance. And so we want to make sure that the community comes out for the kickoff event that takes place this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 at the Miramar Multi-Service Complex, which that one is 6900 Miramar Parkway.
Okay.
And so we want to make sure folks are aware of that. It's 69 or 6700. Let me make sure. It could be
I think it's
6700.
6,700. Yeah, right next to the
Yes.
fire station. Right next
Yes,
to the fire
67.
station. Okay, sounds
5900 is the other location, but yes, you're right.
good.
Thanks, Tamara. So it is 6700 Miramar Parkway, the multi-service complex. Come on out. There's going to be lots of food, lots of fun, lots of giveaways. Children are welcome. It's a family-friendly event from 10 to 2.
And as the vice mayor of the city of Miramar and, our, over 130,000
Hmm.
residents, this is open to everyone.
Yeah.
But as the vice mayor and a commissioner, I know you hear a lot from people who ask for help with health care because
Hmm.
something you mentioned, a lot of people do not have health insurance. And this van is a godsend.
Hmm. Absolutely. And it's for, a lot of times people have, they don't have status in the country and they're afraid to get help and they go straight to the emergency or wherever. We want to make sure we can help everybody that needs health issues addressed. And so whether you're in Miramar, the surrounding areas, Memorial Hospital, Miramar, and actually the Memorial Hospital system itself is there to help everybody. So we want folks to come out there, do testing in the vans on that day on site. They'll have vendors around, and again, they will be providing even food as long as supplies last, lunch.
Mhm.
And so it's going to be a great day for the family. There's family things to do, for kids and everything else, music. So you want to bring the family, and we hope that we'll have a dry day. It's been rainy these days, but
Yeah. Yeah.
normally that occurs in the afternoon, so we should hopefully miss that from 10 to 2 this Saturday at the multi-service complex.
Perfect. So lots of services, social services for the residents of Miramar and surrounding areas. So please come out.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the van where you can get the testing done. You can just walk
Mm-hmm.
in and get that done. And I love the fact too that the city of Miramar is especially reaching out to those families who are living with children, family members who have autism, because we
Mm-hmm.
want to be inclusive in the city of Miramar.
Yes, absolutely. We're absolutely doing that. And so we want them to come out as well and get the care they need. And again, we'll have sponsors and partners on hand and vendors to help with our community efforts.
All right, sounds good.
Mhm.
That is happening this Saturday, June 29th, starting at 10 a.m. at the Multi-Service Complex, 6700 Miramar Parkway, right next to the fire station. You guys can't miss it, right down from the Publix. That's where how everybody knows it.
Right.
That is definitely going to be happening this Saturday. And again, put on your calendars for July 13th at the Commission Chambers, the Save a Life, the summer edition. Please come out to that. These are totally free events. So please come out and support and get the information and the testing and the health information that you need,
Mhm.
because we all know it's right here in Miramar. So thank you very much, Vice Mayor Alexandra P. Davis, for all that you're doing for our residents and really the surrounding areas too, because we bring in
Mhm.
everybody. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. And I'm sure people are going to sign up. If you need more information, you can always go to MiramarFL.gov. All of these flyers and the information right there on the homepage. I'm looking at it. So MiramarFL.gov, and you can definitely sign up through the Eventbrite on there. So thank you very much, Vice Mayor, and we look forward to
Thank you.
seeing you next time.
Thank you, Tamara. Take care.
No problem. Take care. And thank you for watching Good Morning Miramar. Until next time, I'm your host, Tamara G. See you.